Okay, so just prepare your mat. We're going to just ease out the tension in shoulders, neck, and in the head. So I've done this sequence quite a few times, and actually never kind of fails to, kind of make the body feel kind of a little kind of more easy, if you like. So we're going to start off with the supported little kind of bridge back bend. So get your bolster and then come down onto the floor. Have a blanket for underneath your head, and cover yourself with a blanket as well if your room is a little cold. And then slide the bolster underneath the lower back, so that you've got this lift underneath the underside of the seat bones, and then just allow yourself to relax into the floor. So we're just working to soften the curvature of the spine and to just gently support the neck with the blanket, the folded blanket underneath your head. You have your feet apart slightly, about hip width apart, have the knees apart. Just breathe evenly, deeply allowing the body to let go of tension. So soften the jaw, soften your tongue, soften your throat. Just breathing evenly, listening to the sound of the breath, feeling the chest expanding upwards and outwards with the in-breath and the out-breath. And the chest lowering and relaxing with the out-breath. If your neck needs a little more support, then just roll up the end of the blanket just to give you a little roll in the neck. And this really brings some relief into the shoulders and into the neck. So just rolling up the shoulder end of the blanket just to give you a little kind of small kind of roll like a Swiss roll underneath the neck just to support the neck a little more deeply. So the roll underneath the neck just allows the neck to soften. Okay, when you're ready, just lift the seat bones, just move the bolster out from underneath your seat bones. Just have the knees together, the feet apart for a moment, just resting down into the floor. And then just roll yourself up into a seated position. And then just come into cross legs for a moment. Just feel how there's a little freedom in the neck. Okay, so just you might want your bolster on your right side. So put your bolster on the right side and then get a block or a brick for between your knees. So we're just going to have the blanket without the roll in the bottom of it. Have the blanket for your head, and then you're just going to bring a block between your knees, and then so it's a little spinal twist. So you're just going to have the block between your knees, have your arms out in line with your shoulders, and then bring the knees over to the right side. So you might want the bolster underneath the knees just to support it, and then bring the head so that it points in the same direction as the knees. So it's a gentle reclining spinal twist. It also helps to just relieve tension in the neck. If you need more support under your head, then fold your blanket up even more, just a little higher. So we're not trying to hold the pose. You can just let the knees just hold on to the block between the knees and allow the body to just release into the floor. Not holding tension we're releasing tension. And then very gently bring your knees back to the center, bring your head up to face the ceiling. Just rest back into the floor. And then if you were using a bolster on the one side, then have it onto the other side. So just bring your knees over to the left or onto the opposite side. Have your head pointing in the same direction as your knees. And then keeping the arms shoulder height. Just allowing the body to gently release. So just allowing the shoulders to rest into the floor. So Keeping both shoulders down evenly on the floor, even though you're turning your hips to one side. Just observe if your body is holding tension, and release that tension into the shoulders, release the shoulders into the floor. And then when you're ready, bring your head to face the ceiling, bring the knees to face the center of the floor. Just allow your back to rest into the floor for a few moments. And then remove the block between the legs. Go onto your right side and then just sit yourself in cross legs for a moment. And just observe that feeling of length and freedom in the neck. And then just sit yourself back on your knees. So sit on your feet. So we can do a supported child's pose. So get a couple of bricks and lay one brick up on its like kind of low edge, the other brick on its higher edge, and then lay your bolster along the brick. Now, sometimes the bolster isn't high enough at this stage, so you're going to have the bolster between the two knees, and you're going to come forwards and just rest down onto the floor, having your elbows kind of just resting down on the floor. Sometimes that doesn't feel like it's high enough, so you can put a folded blanket over the top of your bolster, or you could even fold it even higher so that it's just a more support. But it's nice to have the neck free of that lift. So just come down onto the bolster, have your head on one side, just breathe evenly and deeply, remembering that if the pose isn't comfortable, then adjust. If the equipment isn't comfortable, adjust until it does feel comfortable. So just feel that you can just let the shoulders release. If your elbows don't reach the floor sufficiently, then you can put supports underneath the elbows. Otherwise, just let the shoulders let go around the bolster. So you can alternate position of the head just to give you an even sense of relaxation spreading throughout the scalp, neck, the shoulders, and the upper back. Make your adjustments until your whole upper body feels totally at ease. Relax the breath completely, remaining present to the waves of relaxation spreading throughout the scalp, the neck, the shoulders, and the upper back. Remember to swap the position of your head at least once throughout the supported child's pose. Feeling those waves of relaxation throughout the scalp, neck, the shoulders, and the upper back. Okay, and then bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then just sit yourself back on your knees, sitting back on your heels. Just listen to the breath for a moment. And then just remove the equipment. So we're going to do a supported fish variation. So you got your bolster for your back and have your folded blanket for your head. Then you're going to sit directly on the floor. If you've got a second bolster, then have that underneath your knees. If you haven't got another bolster, you can put just some cushions underneath your knees. And then if you've got a little additional folded blanket or some blocks, put those underneath your feet. So just something underneath your knees, some blocks will do, some blocks for your feet. And then you just guide yourself down along the bolster and then just support your head underneath the blanket. So if the blanket feels like, if your head feels like it's rolling back, then fold your blanket over additionally to give yourself a really good lift underneath your back. So I often find in this position I need more lift underneath my head than usual. So quite an unusual feeling initially. Just let your arms rest on the floor to the side of you. Quite an unusual feeling. So it's kind of like you're sinking in the buttock region. You're kind of just letting the abdomen sink. Then the support underneath your knees just brings a softness. Support underneath your feet just encourages softness. Again, releasing in the head, in the scalp. Feeling those waves of relaxation in the scalp and in the neck and in the shoulders and in the upper back. Just consciously observing and administering these waves of relaxation over the scalp and around the neck. And in the shoulders and in the upper back. And then when you're ready, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, push your elbows into the floor, and then bring yourself up into a seated position, just into cross legs for a moment. Just lifting up into the chest. And just observing relative freedom within the neck and in the shoulders. Okay, so just move your bolster for your back, have the bolster for your knees, and have the kind of lift underneath your feet still. And then we're just going to finish off with a nice long relaxation pose. So cover yourself up, cover yourself over, so that you're definitely going to stay warm enough. Sometimes it's also really nice to kind of tuck the blanket underneath, so you really kind of wrap yourself up. So wrap your feet up, wrap the blanket underneath your legs, and then just bring yourself down onto the floor. So with the blanket kind of wrapping up the legs feel secure. If you've got something to cover your eyes with, then use that. So just a flannel will do, or if you've got an eye pillow, and cover your eyes with that. And then just allow yourself to release into the floor. So our basic relaxation pose is one of the most valuable gifts that we have in restorative yoga, because it affords the physical body a moment of respite, a little time of release. So I've been struggling a little to kind of get my head back into work mode after Christmas. And I was working on an article this afternoon, and after an hour or so, I was just feeling really tired, really fatigued. And so rather than have a little siesta, I just laid down on the floor in basic relaxation pose, focused on releasing the limbs, focused on those waves of relaxation in the scalp and in the neck and in the shoulders and in the upper back. Just draw your focus into your heart area. Observe how the chest rises upwards and outwards with the in-breath and lowers with the out-breath. Just spend a moment to picture something, someone, or somewhere that brings a sense of positive energy. Allowing that feeling of positivity to infect your upper chest, around the heart area, feeling of gratitude for that person or that place or that thing. It brings a feeling of accumulated positivity and positive energy. And then sit in the accumulation of positivity in the chest. And then bring something else into your head that brings positive energy into your existence. Someone, something, somewhere gives you a feeling of positivity, and spend some time expressing a little gratitude for having that person or that thing or that place in your life. And then continue to draw your attention into new things, people, places, things that bring a feeling of positivity. And then silently express gratitude for having that in your life. Continuing to bring new things into the heart area. And then just rest in the accumulation of positivity in the heart area. Expressing gratitude for those gifts that we have in our lives. And then when you're ready, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. And then just bend your knees. Have your knees, have your feet on the bolster, knees together. Just let the lower back sink into the floor. And then very gently just roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. No rush to move. And then straighten out the top leg. Just come up into cross-legged position. Just bringing your hands into Namaste. Draw the breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Spend a moment acknowledging the positive energy that you have released through your practice, acknowledging the freedom in the neck and in the shoulders and in the upper back. Just draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just bask in that feeling of positive energy and send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though there's some freedom in your neck and in your shoulders, and it should help you also to sleep better later on as well. So thank you very much for joining me.